Express. So let's read through the preamble. Scenario 3, the Essex County Express. Recent events in the museum have forced you to re-evaluate Armitage's tale about Dunwich. It cannot be a coincidence. Wilbur Whately, the Necronomicon, the creature from Dunwich, the people, and the creatures who attacked here enough. Everything must be connected. You're certain now where you must head, the lonely and dismal town of Dunwich Village. You consider telling the Massachusetts State Police what you know, but the negative consequences outweigh the potential gain. Given the nature of your story, they would likely write your stories off as an absurd hoax. Worse, they could lock you up. After all, you were present in an illegal speakeasy. You also trespassed in a museum. So instead, you decide to head to Dunwich yourself in order to investigate further. You pack everything you think you might need and manage to get some rest for the night. In the morning, you head to the train station in Northside and purchase a last-minute express ticket. Dunwich is several hours by train, northwest along the Miskatonic River Valley. There is no train station in Dunwich, but you manage to phone one of Armitage's acquaintances in a small village, a man by the name of Zebulon Whately, who was present during the events several months ago. Armitage's notes indicate that the Whately family is spread across many branches, some decadent and unscrupulous, others undecayed or otherwise untouched by nefarious and diabolic rites. According to Armitage, Zebulon's branch of the family lay somewhere between the decayed and undecayed Whateleys. He knew of the traditions of his ancestors, but was not corrupted by them. He agrees to pick you up at the closest station and drive you into town. As the train departs from Arkham, you feel the events of the previous night catching up with you, and exhaustion sets in. But before you can safely reach your destination, the train car suddenly rumbles and shakes, startling out of your reverie. The train loudly skids to a violent halt, and you hear a rattling noise behind you. Okay, then we get our setup instructions. So we've already set the board up, already got our hand and mulliganed. Now we start in the last passenger car. We get to ignore the forced text on it. We've got the 4 copies of Across State and Time set aside, and as this is my first run through solo, I'm running it on easy mode, so we've added a -2 token to the token bag, and we've got all the encounter cards all shuffled up, ready to go. Right, there's a note here about moving left and right. So as you can see, we've got all the location cards set up. So left to right, as you might think, means we move to the cars left to right as described. Righto, and that's it for the setup instructions. So let's have a look. Our agenda deck. As the train to Dunwich comes to a jarring stop, you look out the window behind you and see an immense tear in the sky, like a rip in a piece of cloth. Several of the rearmost train cars are pulled backwards, and there is a dreadful metallic crunch as they are detached. The train cars topple upward and into the rift in the sky. Nearby passengers are panicking, others are cowering in their seats, and one elderly man has fainted in fear. Right, it's got a 4 threshold for doom. Act 1A. Run! The train is stopped on a bridge high above the Miskatonic River. You might be able to survive the fall, but you don't like your chances. Your best bet is to make your way to the engine car as fast as you can and get the train running again. Objective: if an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. Okay, so all we have to do is move across to the engine car. Should be easy, right? Let's see. Okay, so we've got to move from here to here. The train car is connected to the locations to the left and right of it. You cannot enter a train car unless all of the clues on the location to its left have been discovered. So we've got 2 clues that we have to discover here. It's not too bad. We've got a 3 shroud. So what's our first one? It's here. So let's put Hawkeye into play. So 1 action. So that costs 2 resources. I'll spend those. 1, 2. Then we need to put Mr. Rook into play. We'll keep it open to play discovering a look for a hunch. Probably should have played this one first, but we didn't. So let's crack and play this one. It's going to use 2 of the wild tokens, so that gives us an investigation of 6 against 3. So let's go for that. It's -1. Okay, excellent. So we still pass. So we get a clue. Put that clue here. Discard that. Okay, so now let's just play this fast. Discover 1 clue. So it's not even a play. So we discover the clue at our location. So that's 2 of these. 1, 2. So we grab this clue. Put that clue on us. Now we get to put this on here because we've got that last clue. And that's gone. So we've really only spent 1 action so far. Sorry, 2, because we've put that in the car into play and then we've investigated. So let's spend a 3rd action then to move straight across. Let's flip this card, let's see what it says. Okay, passenger car is connected to locations left and right of it. Yeah, we know that. Forced. After you enter the passenger car, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 total willpower icons or take 2 horror. Well, we can't do that, so we have to take 2 horror. Which reminds me, because we have a physical trauma, now we take 2 horror, which is not great because Roland only has a 5 threshold. So we can't handle too much of that. Okay, this has also got 2 clues on it, so let's put that on there. So that's the end of this turn. And then, well, so we've finished our investigation phase. We've got no enemies, so upkeep phase. We grab a resource, take a card. Okay, not a bad card to have in our hand. Righty. So grab an encounter card. Oh, advance to go. Mythos phase. What have we got? Revelation. Each investigator at your location loses 1 action. Each investigator at your location with 4 or more damage must also discard an asset that he or she controls. Okay, so we lose an action, so we're down to 2 actions. That sucks, but otherwise not doing anything for us. So we've got 2 actions, we've got 2 clues. Let's try to get the 2 clues, hey? Let's make the most of it. Let's just commit this one first. And, well, do we need to? Let's make the most of it. Let's just commit. So that's 5 against 2. Let's see what we draw. -2. So then that would be 3 against 2. So we're still successful. We grab this clue. Put that down here. And we discarded that. So now we just straight up 3 against 2. Let's just roll the dice. I'll draw the token. Let's see what we get. Skull. -x, where x is the current agenda number. So that's 1. So we're successful. Because -1 from our 3 intellect is 2. It's even with the straight amount, so we get that clue. Things are going well so far. This is unusual. Let's see. Take that clue, put that there. That's the end of our go day. Still no enemies. So let's take our upkeep, grab a card. Not a bad one to have. And we've got 3 resources. I wonder if there's any enemies that pop up in this mission. I can't honestly recall. But either way, then let's advance. So we're halfway through the agenda. Let's draw an encounter card. Claws of Steam. Revelation. Test willpower 3. If you fail, take 2 damage. And you cannot move from this location this round. Okay, that's probably the worst part. Damage from this effect must be assigned to your assets first. Well, we've got no assets that can soak damage, so that's not a problem. But because we've got this one here, we've got an additional willpower than we normally do, so we have 4 willpower. Do we want to commit Mr. Rook to give us 5? Because we really want to be able to move. Let's do it. So that's 5 willpower. Let's draw the token. -1. Okay, so we didn't need to commit Mr. Rook, but I chose to, so he's gone. At least we pass this test, so don't have to worry about that. So our first action, let's move to this next car and see what's going on. Actually, there's chances that we lose stuff when we move, so let's put the machete in play first. Let's put it in play. Cost us 3. 1, 2, 3. Second action, move to the car. Let's flip. What have we got? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. That's a lot of damage. Anyway. 4 staffed yes. Enter passenger car. You must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 total fight icons or take 2 damage. Well, I removed the ability to be able to do that, so we just have to take 2 damage. This is racking up pretty fast. Okay, so it's got 1 clue on it. Oops, that's not what we need. But we can take this 1 clue, I reckon. Oh, it's a high shroud though. Done that one. We should have put the extra clue on here. So we've got an extra intellect, so it's 4 against 4. So we either need a +1 or a 0. Or we can draw a card. Drawing a card might help us get across the line here. I feel like we've... let's roll the dice. We've been pretty lucky so far. -2. Well, definitely don't get across the line. That's the end of our go. So we get upkeep, draw a card, play If you have at least one clue, choose an investigator location. That investigator heals 2 horror or discards a terror card from his or her threat area. I think I'm going to use that next turn. Just to heal that terror. Heal the horror. That'll be the deal. Anyway. No enemy, so advance the turn. So we're 3 out of 4 out of our Doom threshold. So let's see where we get to. Let's draw our encounter card. Revelation. Put dissonant voices into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events. At the end of... which is great because that event card would get rid of the terror. But I can't play the event card to get rid of the terror. Oh. Yeah, thanks for that. Onto our threat area. Okay. Let's draw a card as a first action. Okay, it has fast play after an investigator discovers the last remaining clue. That'd be good if we manage to get it. That's not useful at the moment, at least. Let's just draw another card. At the moment, I can't see it. We can commit that to it, and that would be 5 out of 4 that we would need, but I'm still not confident. Let's just draw another card. That is what we want, but we don't have the resource for it. So what have we got so far? So we drew a card. Let's draw a resource for a third action and then fast play that. And then, we can't do events. Well, we're gonna get a resource anyway. So, if we draw a resource, we're going to get a resource and make up that gives us 3. Let's do that. So let's draw a resource for a third action. Okay. Makeup phase, so we get another resource. We draw a card. Okay, this is what we want. We can get past this one now. No enemies, obviously, because we would have done it before makeup. Upkeep phase. Advance a turn. Ooh. Okay. So here we are. I need to flip this because we've hit our threshold. The rearmost car of the train detaches. As it is pulled backwards to your horror, it raises off the track and is consumed by the gate above you. Remove the leftmost location from the game, or place it in the victory display if it has a victory X and no clues on it. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Oh, harsh. Each enemy and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigators. Nuts. Okay. So we get rid of all of our clues. And then let's get rid of that card. And we've got the next one. Agenda 2A. Oh, and we have to get rid of this card. No victory on it, so we might as well just discard. It's gone. Hidden by the void in the sky. Okay. Agenda 2A. The tear grows larger, and you feel the rearmost car of the train shaking as pulled backwards. The situation threatens to erupt into chaos as more passengers realise the danger they're in. Some passengers are looking for places to hide, while others are running about the compartments in terror. 3 doom threshold. So not much there at all. So let's get a move on. See what we can do. So it's only got the one clue. It's fairly high for Roland. So let's go ahead and just play our fast action. It costs us 2 resources. So 1, 2. We get this clue. And then fast. Play after investigator discovers the last remaining clue at your location. Investigators at that location gain a total of X resources, distributed as you wish. X is that location's strata value, so it has a strata of 4, so we get 4 additional resources. Okay. Thank you. And then also, we'll play this. So play if you have at least one clue. Choose investigator at your location. That investigator either heals 2 horror or discards terror from his or her threat area. Oh, we're meant to discard this one from last game. So let's use this to heal the horror on us. So do that. Costs 2 resources. 1, 2. Heals the horror. So 2 horror, 1, 2. Good to go. This one. Done. Okay, I'm feeling good about that. So that was so far. What do we do? So from that start of our go. Yeah, clues. Advanced agenda. Did work in a hunch, but that was fast. Crack the case was fast. 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 This one was an action, so that's logical reasoning. Okay, excellent. We've only spent one action so far. So second action, move across here. Reveal this card. It's got 1 clue on it, with only 1 shroud. But let's read what the text says. Forced. After you enter passenger cars, you must either discard a card with your hand with at least 1 wild or take 1 damage in horror. Okay, let's do that. Let's discard this. Kind of hurts a bit. But it's super easy to investigate this location. So let's go ahead and do that. So from that location we grabbed a resource as well. So we're now on the 3 or 4, so it gets +1 sanity. So that's good. We've got a total of 6. Okay, so we've got our 4 intellect now against a 1. So let's draw a token. +1. So we smashed. Absolutely smashed. Take a clue. Put on us. So now we've got the 2 clues. But I'm pretty sure that's all our 3 actions now. So enemy phase, no enemies. Upkeep phase, grab a resource, grab a card. Excellent. 2 too bad we're going to be losing some of that. So, encounter card. Oh, sorry, next turn. One of our 3 doom. Counter. Ancient Evils. Oh, dang. So we're out of doom. That's F5 for doom. 2. So we've been pretty lucky that we only got it this far in. We've moved pretty quickly. Okay. So, not the worst though. We've been pretty lucky so far. So our first action, let's move across. Reveal the train car. Ooh, parlor car. Parlor car is connected left and right, of course. Parlor car cannot be investigated. Spend 3 resources. Discover 1 clue in the parlor car. Oh, sweet. We've got plenty of resources, and it's a victory point. Nice. So, it's got a clue on it at the moment. That's not it. That's F2 is a clue. Well, let's just spend our 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. Get the clue. And spend. So, we've got 1, 2, and our third action will move here. We are rocketing along. What have we got? So 3 clues on this one. Okay, this is a bit of a toughie for old Roland. But only 1 shroud. So forced. After you enter passenger cars, you must either discard cards from your hand with at least 2 agility tokens or take 2 damage. We don't have 2 agility tokens. So we take 2 damage. This is adding up. 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Let's hope we don't have to take too much more damage, hey? But that's a lot of clues that we have to, that's going to take all of our next go just to get clues. Yeah. So far, this machete hasn't been any use to us at all. Anyway, that's the end of our go. No enemies still. Still no enemies. This is weird. Let's upkeep, take a resource, draw a card. Dum dum dum. Agency backup. This is the one I added that we got to when we did our upgrades. So agency backup may be assigned damage and or horror dealt to other investigators at your location. That'll be really important to get into play, but it costs 7 resources. That is a bloody lot. Pretty worth it though. Fast play. Exhaust agency backup. Deal 1 damage to it. Deal 1 damage to any enemy at your location. Or exhaust enemy backup. Deal 1 horror to it. Discover 1 clue at your location. Fast action. But I can't put it into play. I don't have enough resources. So let's just investigate. So we've got 4 against 1. Let's go. Tablet is -2. Add 1 doom token to the nearest cultist enemy. No cultist enemy, so it's just -2. But should we still get the clue? Let's draw and investigate again. 0. Easy clues. I'm waiting for the snapback. This is going too well. And our last action, let's investigate again. -1. So take us down to 3 against 1. Easy clue. Easy clue. But that's all our 3 actions. And this is going to advance. So let's find out what happens. So, upkeep, grab a resource, draw a card. Okay. And then advanced. Highlights here to let me know that we've reached our limit. Okay, agenda 2B. The next train car is ripped backwards with violent force. A middle-aged man hangs from his fingertips as the car flies unhindered towards the rift. Apparently I've been disconnected from the game. Now I've been reconnected. Okay, let's read this. Middle-aged man hangs from his fingertips as the car flies unhindered towards the rift. In moments, the car is consumed whole, and the man let go rather than be pulled into the void. He starts to fall, but is caught by the rift's force and pulled inside it anyway. Sucks to be him. Remove the leftmost location from the game and place it in the victory display if it has X and no clues on it. Each investigator at that location is defeated. Each enemy at that and asset at that location is discarded. Discard all clues controlled by the investigator. Oh, it keeps doing that to us. So this one, it's gone. Goodbye. Pew. Goodbye clues. It's all of our clues, man. What's the bet? Having clues would have been handy. Okay. Encounter card. Broken rails. Revelation. Each investigator location loses one action. Each investigator location with 4 or more damage, that's me, must also discard an asset he or she controls. Rough. So rough. Let me just double check. Controls in the rulebook means in our hand, or if it's on the table being played. Not sure about that one. So let's look at controls in the rulebook. It's got a nice little index on the back. Control, see any ship and control, 16. Ownership control. A card's owner is the players whose deck that player controls the cards located in his or her out of play game area, such as a hand, deck, or discard pile. The scenario controls the cards in its out of play game areas, such as the encounter agenda decks and encounter discard piles. Cards by default enter play under their owner's control. Some abilities may cause cards to change control during the game. So here's a question. Can I discard an asset in play? Or is it in my hand? Don't know. A quick Google search might help. Ah, so only affects cards in play, not cards in the hand or deck. Really? Okay. So do we want to get rid of this? Or a machete? this has pretty much done its job for us so far. So let's get rid of this one. Maybe there's going to be a big baddie soon. I don't know. But we've powered this one up so far. And we've got Vicious Blow. Rough. Don't know. What to do. I'm going to regret this. Discard the machine. Okay. And then that's gone. So we have two actions. So obviously the first action is, well, maybe not obvious, but let's move into the train car. Flip the train car. Now, this says if an investigator enters the engine car, immediately advance. So, the investigator entering the engine car reads the following out loud. Attend a car filled with coal blocks your way to the engine cab. Swallowing your fear, you climb out of the nearby window and clamber onto the roof of the train, making your way across the tender car. The steady backward motion of the train makes it difficult for you to keep your footing. As you get close, a winged creature swoops down from above, its body composed of piping hot steam. Right. You must decide. To test 3 agility, attempt to dodge the creature. If you fail, you leap too far and barely grip onto the side of the train, hanging on for dear life. Although you manage to pull yourself up, the experience is terrifying, you suffer 1 mental trauma. Mental trauma? Okay. I don't want that. Or test 3 combat. If you to attempt to endure the creature's extreme heat, if you fail, the creature flies through you and the heat burns you, suffer 1 physical trauma. Well, I can take trauma better than that. So, So we've got 4 combat. We need to test against 3. So let's put this on. It'll give us 2. So that will be 6 against 3. That's about as safe as we can get. And we get a +1. Easy days. Easy days. So, Act 2A. Get the engine running. You've managed to make it to the engine cab, but now you have to get the engine started again so you can outrun the pulling force of the game. Objective. If there are no clues in the engine car, immediately advance. Ah, yeah, right. So we have 2 clues here now. So let me put them on there. After you reveal engine car, draw the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. So let's draw a card. Counter 1, counter 2, counter 3. Test 3 willpower. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. So willpower. We have 3 plus our 1 is 4. Oh, it'd be such a waste to add that to it. So it's just 4 against 3. Let's see what we get. Skull. The agenda number. It's 3. Oh shit. So 4 minus 3 is 1, so we fail by 2, so we take 2 horror. So that's that one dealt with. This one, helpless passenger, surge. Oh, that means we have to draw another card. Oh, great. Put helpless passenger into play at the location to your left, or at your location if you cannot. Parlay. Take control of helpless passenger. Forced. If helpless passenger leaves play, each investigator takes 1 horror. Let's just whack him here, and that'll do. Is there any victory on that one? No. I don't know if we have to come back and heal this guy. Don't think we need to grab him. We're close to finishing. Frozen in Fear. Put Frozen in Fear into play in your threat area. Okay. The first time you perform one of the following actions: move, fight, or evade. Each round it costs 1 additional action. Forced at the end of your turn, test 3 willpower. If you succeed, discard Frozen in Fear. Oh man. After accolade, spawn any empty location. So I wonder what the definition of empty is. Because there's that guy and the other one, so it's not technically empty. Empty location is the location with no enemies or investigators at it. So he's not an enemy or an investigator, so that counts as empty. You can whack him in there. He's not a hunter or anything, but he does get doom put on him. Righty. So we still have this. I think we still have the thing that we've lost in action from the previous one, I think. Yeah, Frozen in Fear. That's that one. So we add doom. These are all the things we're doing. That's more. Broken rails. That's the one that made us lose one, actually. Yeah. So we only have 2 actions to go. So we've done everything there now. So we've got 2 actions. That's 2 clues in there. So that's all we need to do, is get these 2 clues. Let's just do it. Let's investigate. -1. Easy clue. Investigate a second time. -1. So easy clue. It says immediately advance, so let's flip this. Read what it says. Okay. This seemed super easy. I've never seen that. Never been able to do this one this quick. The train roars to life and kicks into motion. You shovel coal into the engine's firebox and are relieved to see that the train is moving forward along its tracks once again. Read Resolution 1. Nice. I have never got that one like that before. Mind you, this is the first time I've played it solo. Resolution 1. Okay, we have You breathe a sigh of relief as the gate behind the train collapses harmlessly upon itself. The few passengers who survived the ordeal seem unable to comprehend what just happened. What was that? Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so we've just got to the resolution. You breathe a sigh of relief. The gate behind the train collapsed harmlessly itself. A few passengers who survived the ordeal seem unable to comprehend what just happened. One passenger mentions a pipe bursting in the rear car, and that quickly becomes the explanation for the innocent and ignorant. Those who either cannot or choose not to delve further into the mystery. You, on the other hand, know better, although in hindsight, you wish you didn't. Each investigator earns the experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. So I think that was just 2. So 2 victory. Let's add it here. So we've just added another 2 victory. So let's put this down here. Okay. And that's that. To be continued. So the next scenario will be blood on the altar. Nice. That is probably the best I've ever done through that. Like I said, first time I've done it solo though. But super good. Does seem like they didn't get much experience out of it though. So I wonder what the other train cars were like. Wonder if there was other experience to be had. That was still 1 experience. Yeah, 1 victory. No, so I got both experience cards. So it must just be... Yeah, this is Opticon. I've mucked around a little bit with it. It's relatively got a pretty small user base, but seems super usable. Recommend checking it out. I think you can play around with it. I think it's free to use. I think I'm not 100% sure on that. But I mean, if you already have Tabletop Simulator or one of the other ones, you know, there's no real draw to figure out a new system, but it seems to be pretty good. Yeah, it's working for me. Where was I at? Yeah, I mean, if you haven't already bought into Tabletop Simulator, just do a Google search for OCTGN. I'll just type it in. Actually, I might even have the website for it somewhere. Let's have a look. It's got a few other games that you can download as well. Oh, okay, super simple web page. It's that. Definitely worth checking out. And then, if you are interested, I've got something here that would help as well. Because you have to download, you have to find either upload the card art onto it yourself from your own cards, which I have, but obviously that's a lot of hassle scanning it all. But there is a website, if I can find it, my favorites, that has done that all for you. So 1 second. Games, image packs, here we go. Copy. definitely worth going to the last link URL that I just put in there, because it has all the image packs for all the cards. They've got a bit of a policy where they won't upload like the latest card packs images, because obviously they want to encourage people to buy the cards themselves. But yeah, definitely worth trying it out. I mean, it's got all the standalone packs and everything in there. Having said that, I think it's even got Innsmouth on there already, so it can't be that delayed. I'm just wanting to look at some cards here, to see if there's more victory points that are up for grabs. Can't really see any, even on the encounter cards. Yeah, I know. Oh, this guy did. He's got victory on him. But it's only one. It's another one here. So there's really not that much victory points up available in this one at all. Yeah, I mean, definitely check it out. I think you'll like it. Well, if you're into it, you'll find out one way or the other. I play normally with 2 other people, like with physical cards, but this is a good way to play solo, and figured I may as well stream it and justify talking to myself. Yeah, but otherwise I think I'm about done here. I can't believe there's not much else on the resolution of this, of anything to add. I thought there was more. Maybe it's just I failed last time and there's more. Probably. Yeah, all good. So that'll wrap that one up. I'll put all these onto YouTube, but I don't expect anyone to really watch them. They're probably not the best at talking through these things, but I'm always trying to improve. Grateful for any feedback that comes across. Anyway, until blood on the altar. Cheers. Thanks, man. Anyway, maybe I'll see you around again. Or if you decide to do this and set it up, I might end up seeing yourself on here trying out one of these scenarios. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a look. See you next time. I mean, if you're playing something yourself, you may as well just put it out there, and if people feel like dropping in, so be it. Anyway, I'll click on your thing. Can I follow you? Just trying to figure out if I can follow you without your thing. Just lands me on your homepage. Nice, man, nice. So which one are you? Adam, Chad, or Ryan? Too easy, man. Well, I'll since I've got you on follow, I might see you on your next episode. I'll check you out. Good luck with it all.